Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you've had a good day. I'm going to end my day with a little video about an upcoming women's fight, which I'm looking forward to. I think it's a very intriguing matchup, and it is for the IBF, WBO, WBC welterweight titles between Natasha Jonas and Lauren Price. Now, why am I intrigued by this fight? Well, it's the old guard versus the new. Because Natasha, Miss GB, Southpaw, 5'8". She's had quite an illustrious career after a sort of stuttering start, and she's won belts at a couple of weights, different weights. She started off, I think, as a super featherweight. She had an early stoppage defeat in 2018 to Vivian Obanoff. Very intriguing character, Vivian Obanoff. Google her story; it's quite intriguing. Let's just say she won't be getting out of prison soon, I don't think. But Natasha got stopped by her in 4 rounds. And it looked, like she wasn't going to be able to replicate as a professional fighter, her amateur success. She was an Olympian, of course. But now she's 40 and she's seen better days. And I think if you look at the much maligned Ben Shalom and his tenure with Sky TV, Natasha is one of his, if not the biggest success story, because her career wasn't really going anywhere. At the very best, it was sort of treading water when she was with Matchroom. She fought Katie Taylor. Well, she got a draw with Terry Harper, which I definitely thought she won. And that was at super featherweight. Terry at the time was undefeated in 10. Then Natasha fought Katie Taylor, gave her a good fight. It was a good fight. I mean, those scorecards were close, like 96, 95, 96, 94, something like that. But it was a unanimous decision for Katie. But you could make a case for Natasha winning that fight. Again, we're talking lightweight. She moved up to lightweight. And then she moved over to Sky, and from there on in, she just started picking up belts. The first one was against Chris Namus, a Canadian girl who was, to be honest with you, was pretty much shot. And Natasha did her in 2 rounds and won the WBO super welterweight title. So she jumped all about from lightweight to super welterweight, as the women often do. She then beat Patricia Burgalt. That was a good win. That again, super welterweight. That was a unification, WBO and WBC. And then she beat Marie-Eve Dicaire, I think her name is. Dicare. Dicaire? Yeah. Well, anyway, she beat her. And added the IBF belt to her collection. So she had 3 of the big belts at super welterweight. Then she dropped down, fought Candy Wyatt for the IBF World Welterweight title. She was never a 154 pounder, and to be honest, she's a small 147 pounder as well. But she picked up that. There was a vacant IBF welterweight belt. She then defended against Michaela Mayer, and I thought Mayer won that fight. Yeah, it was close. But I thought Mayer edged it, to be honest with you. I think I can't remember what I did, 96, 94, something like that. And more recently, Natasha also picked up the WBC welterweight belt to go with her IBF one against Ivana Habazin. And that was, mid-December last year, so very recent. There's no doubt she's had a brilliant career. But along comes Lauren Price, 10 years younger at 30. Southpaw, and this young lady is the current, what is she now? Is she WBA? I always get bloody confused with these. I think she's WBA welterweight champ. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm doing this on memory. But she scored a couple of very good wins lately. She outpointed. She outpointed was a technical decision over 9, I think. Jessica McCaskill. McCaskill's on the downside of her career. Has had a very good career herself and won some good, some belts. And more recently, again, this was on the same card with Natasha. She beat Bexy Mateus, previously undefeated in 7, but way out of her depth. And Lauren knocked her out in 3 rounds. Now, of course, it's how you get your work done sometimes. I mean, she outpointed Kirsty Babington earlier on in his career, who's a good domestic level fighter. She actually, I believe she was Lauren was the first female British champion. She won the welterweight belt. And lest we forget, she's an Olympic medal winner as well. Very, very, she was gold medalist at the Olympics. So she signed to Boxer. They probably paid for her services and also her partner, both Olympians. But Lauren was the big star. She picked up the gold medal. She's from Wales, Newport, I think she's from. And she's young and she's in her prime. So we have the old guard Natasha, an Olympian, excellent pro career, against the in her prime Lauren. The question is Natasha going to be able to sort of old woman her out of in a fight? Because their fight is scheduled for the Royal Albert Hall, no less, in March the 7th. Now, I've been to the Albert Hall to watch boxing. I watched lots of stars from yesteryear, domestic level. I watched Nigel Benn when he was up and coming. I saw Tony Simpson there. James Oyabola, former British heavyweight champ. I saw him at the Albert Hall. Errol Christie, I saw fight there once. You know, good. It's a great venue. And I used to sit in a box because I'm a posh bastard. I remember going with my granddad to watch the boxing once. And it was, you know, we're just a couple of working class guys. And we turned up there in the box. It's great because it's like, you know, you're looking down on the ring. Did I ever go downstairs at the Albert Hall on any visits? I might have done. And they were, a lot of them, in fact, well, I want to say all of them were Frank Warren shows. Maybe they weren't. Maybe I went to a couple of the old Nicky Duff ones. I'm going back fucking 40 years. But the point is, it's an illustrious place with huge history. And it is a good place to watch boxing. It is. You know, you might think it's going to lack atmosphere. I never found that to be the case. So this is a big deal. Lauren Price versus Natasha Jonas, and they recently had a little, online tete-a-tete. I can't remember the channel I watched it on. I watched so much boxing related stuff. It's not even funny. But there was a bit of friction there. And Natasha said, you know, she made a remark about, well, you know, you were successful at the Olympics, but that was after all the good girls had left, all the top ones had left. He sort of mopped up the gravy, picked up the pieces. And Lauren says, no, I'm too good, too young, too sharp. I'm coming for you. Now, Lauren Price exudes confidence and she has that sort of sharpness about her. She has that sort of just a little bit of spite in her voice. Whereas Natasha seemed to be kind of sort of sit upon it a little bit. She was making comments, but she was kind of holding back, I got the impression. And if you want to play amateur psychologist, I would say that Natasha genuinely sees Lauren as being a threat. There's a difference between acknowledging that someone is a good opponent and thinking, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, but they're clearly a threat. And saying, do you know what, I think this person can beat me. I could be in trouble here. The back of your mind, that's nitpicking away, yapping away like one of those little rat dogs that nips at your heels. Yap, yap, yap. You get that little voice in your head. It's a bad thing. And as much as I admire Natasha, whenever I've seen her interviewed and Price gets mentioned, I get the impression that she thinks I've got my work cut out here. And she has. She has. Because Lauren Price she's got the bit between her teeth, you can tell that. She really believes that she can be undisputed. Could happen, you know. But, you know, I'm still trying to think about which of the belts Lauren's got. I know she had the IBO one, but I'm not really thinking about that one. Yeah. Anyway, it's an intriguing bout, I think, the old versus the new. What do you think? Who's your money on? If you've made up your mind already, we got a few months, we got a couple of months to go before it happens. But I think this could be a very, very memorable women's fight and one that again pushes women's boxing further up the ladder. But let me know what you think. Comments below as usual. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button because you are helping the channel out and we want to build it up. All right. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Always appreciate your time. Much love and bye for now.